Hello, I am Thomas Laurie, and today I'll be doing a screencast on Introduction to Complementary and Alternative Medicine. And this was directed for subject for health science. There wasn't any PE, so obviously I was left out, which doesn't surprise me. Nobody cares about PE, even though it's the most important subject. Anyways, so the essential literacy focus was how can we ensure safety and effectiveness? So safety and effectiveness, those are the two main words, and complementary and alternative medicine. And the content focus is establish or explain and distinguish the five categories of the CAM, which is complementary and alternative medicine. We got the standards in here. Just here are the learning objectives, which go with the content focus. The assessments is just very informal assessments, nothing too deep on this is the very first assignment of the chapter, so they're just keeping it very simple. Next, the language functions that they're used: explain, distinguish, compare, ensure, effectiveness. These are all the kind of the main language functions that we're focusing on in this lesson. The vocabulary that needs to be known is complementary and alternative. So they need to know what those means and the different ways that those can be used. The syntax, the students will distinguish and explain their interpretation of one of the five CAMs with the group members. So they're going to be separated and then differentiated a little bit. Next, these are kind of go into the resources that you need to do this lesson, which is access to the internet and then complementary alternative medicine handout. What else? The prior knowledge that the students need to know. It's helpful if they know what the words complementary and alternative mean, but if not, they should be familiar with general principles of conventional medicine. So the transition from previous assignment, we go into that here with words complementary and alternative on the board. Ask students in various contexts in which they have seen two words. So just the different their background, kind of going into their background knowledge and what kind of their perception is going into the lesson. Then we got the hook here. Right. Then we kind of go into the lesson part, which is actually the part that I enjoy the most, which is actually the teaching instead of just kind of explaining what we're going to be doing, actually the actual doing, performing, which is the instructions. So we're going to jigsaw it out, split them into groups. Yep, and then we're going to do again another jigsaw where we're going to split them into other groups. And then finally, they're going to do some independent where they're working on a worksheet and they're filling out a worksheet, or they can actually work in pairs if it's encouraging and they're being productive. And then lastly, we'll close with the class by doing a discuss the placebo effect with students. So ask each group to describe how the placebo effect might work in their CAM category and to consider how they might distinguish a real effect from a placebo effect. So overall, that's what I got from the lesson. And I do think this is plagiarism, yet it is assigned, so it is what it is. And that's the end of my screencast. Thank you.